Was Alexander the Great poisoned? Who was the real killer? A death that changed the world. In the 3rd of June 23 BCE, the world stood still. The greatest conqueror history had ever known. Alexander III of Macedon lay dying in Babylon. He was only 32 years old. His body, feverish and paralyzed, could not speak. His soldiers, generals, and friends stood in silent disbelief. How could the man who defeated the mighty Persian Empire and marched to the edge of India now be defeated by a slow, creeping death? Rumors began to spread. Was it malaria, typhoid, or was he poisoned? This question, was Alexander the Great poisoned, has echoed through history for over 2 millennia. And to even begin answering it, we must go back to the beginning of his incredible life. Part 1. The Birth of a Legend. Alexander was born in 356 BCE, in Pella, the capital of the Kingdom of Macedon. His father, King Philip II, was a brilliant military strategist who transformed Macedon into a dominant regional power. His mother, Olympias, was fiercely intelligent, passionate, and believed her son had divine origins. She told young Alexander that he was descended from Achilles and even Zeus himself. From the start, Alexander's upbringing was far from ordinary. At the age of 13, he was tutored by none other than Aristotle, who filled his mind with philosophy, ethics, logic, and the works of Homer. The young prince was captivated by the idea of glory and legacy. Achilles became his idol. Conquest became his destiny. At just 16, Alexander was left in charge of Macedon, while Philip campaigned. He crushed a rebellion and founded his first city, Alexandropolis. The boy was no longer just a prince. He was a leader. But the path to glory was soaked in blood. In 336 BCE, King Philip was assassinated, possibly at Olympias's urging. At just 20 years old, Alexander ascended the throne. Part 2. The Conquest of the World. The young king wasted no time. With ruthless efficiency, he quashed rebellions in Greece and declared himself the leader of a united Hellenic League. His eyes turned east to the mighty Persian Empire. In 334 BCE, Alexander crossed the Hellespont into Asia Minor with 40,000 soldiers. It was the start of a campaign that would shake the foundations of the known world. At the Battle of Granicus, he crushed the Persian forces. At Issus, he defeated King Darius III himself. And at Gaugamela in 331 BCE, he shattered the Persian army in a masterstroke of military brilliance. Darius fled. Alexander pursued. When Darius was finally killed by his own men, Alexander declared himself the rightful king of Asia. But he wasn't done. He marched into Egypt and was welcomed as a liberator. There, he founded Alexandria, a city that would become a beacon of knowledge for centuries. At the Oracle of Siwa, the priests confirmed what his mother had always told him: Alexander was a god. Then, with his army weary but loyal, he pressed into the unknown India. The Battle of the Hydaspes River in 326 BCE tested Alexander like never before. Facing war elephants and fierce resistance, he won, but at a cost. His men, exhausted and homesick, refused to go further. Reluctantly, Alexander turned back. Part 3. The Fall of a God. By the time Alexander returned to Babylon in 323 BCE, he ruled a vast empire, stretching from Greece to India. But peace eluded him. His generals quarreled. His soldiers muttered. Alexander drank heavily. He executed close companions. Some believed he was slipping into madness. Then, in June, after a banquet and days of fever, Alexander could no longer speak. For over a week, he lingered, paralyzed and silent. On the 11th of June, he died. The world plunged into chaos. But how could a man so young, so powerful, simply fall ill and die? Part 4. The Poison Theory. Ancient sources offer conflicting accounts of Alexander's final days. Some describe a sudden stomach pain after a drinking party. Others mention a slow burning fever and neurological decline. The symptoms, paralysis, loss of speech, and prolonged death don't match typical tropical diseases of the region. Could he have been poisoned? One theory suggests he was given a slow-acting poison derived from a native plant, possibly Veratrum album, known to cause vomiting, muscle weakness, and eventual paralysis over days. The long, painful decline fits this narrative. But who would dare poison Alexander? Suspects abound. Antipater, the regent of Macedon, was threatened by Alexander's plans to replace him. His son, Cassander, had motive and access. Roxana, Alexander's wife, feared for her son's inheritance. Olympias, his own mother, had shown herself capable of murder before. Even his generals, such as Ptolemy or Seleucus, might have sought power in his absence. But the problem with the poison theory is simple. No one can prove it. Ancient writers like Plutarch and Arrian never claim it outright. Some dismiss it as gossip. Others believe the symptoms fit typhoid or West Nile virus. Modern scholars remain divided. Part 5. A Legacy Beyond Death. Whether poisoned or not, Alexander's death changed history. He left no clear successor. His only son was still in the womb. Within months, his empire fractured into chaos. His generals, the Diadochi, carved it up and fought bloody wars for decades. Yet Alexander's influence never faded. He founded over 20 cities, spread Hellenistic culture across 3 continents, and inspired countless legends. In Persia, Egypt, India, and Greece, stories of his exploits blended with local myths. He became a figure of legend, equal parts hero, god, and tyrant. Even centuries later, Julius Caesar wept before a statue of Alexander, lamenting how little he had accomplished by the same age. Was he poisoned? Does it matter? So was Alexander the Great poisoned? We may never know. The evidence is tantalizing but incomplete. The motives are there. The opportunity existed. But the truth lies buried in time. Perhaps the real question is not how he died, but how he lived. In just 12 years, Alexander reshaped the world. His story is one of ambition, brilliance, and ultimate tragedy. Whether struck down by fever or by treachery, he remains immortal in history's pages. Not because of how he died, but because of what he dared to do.